Mayong buong tapang harapin ang buhay, akapin ang tagumpay. Tulungan ang kapwa't bigyang halaga, wag hatakin ng pababa. Isipin wag sana ang sarili lang, pakisama't bayanihan. Subukan nating isulong at ligawan ang magandang bukas. Ikaw at ako magkasama tayo, salubungin ang kinabukasan.
Chapter 8. Divination, Recognition of an Ancestral Domain. Section 51. The revelation and recognition of ancestral domain. Self-deliberation shall be the guiding principle in the identification and deliberation of ancestral domain. As such, the ICCs in its concern shall have a decisive role. All the activities pertinent thereto, the sworn, the statement of the elders as to the scope of the territories, and agreement pacts made with neighboring apes, etc., if any, will be ancestral to the revelation termination of shall traditional territories. Section 52. The revelation process. The identification and the revelation of ancestral domain shall be done in accordance with the following procedures. Section 54. Redundant claim. The ancestral domain office may be, upon written request from the ICC and its view existing claims which have been redundantly acquired by any person or community. Any claims found to be redundantly acquired by the issues to any person or community may be cancelled by the NCIP after due notice and hearing of all parties concerned. Section 55. Communal rights. Subject to the Section 56 thereof, areas within the ancestral domain, whether donated or not, shall be presumed to be the community head, provided the communal rights. This act shall not be construct co-ownership as provided in Republic Act number 386, otherwise known as New Civil Code. Section 56. Existing property rights regains. Property rights within the ancestral domain already existing and or based upon effectively of this act shall be recognized and respected. Section 57. Natural resources within ancestral domain. The ICCs in Ape shall have the rights in the harvesting, instruction, development, or exploitation of any natural resources within the ancestral domain. Section 58. Environmental consideration. Ancestral domain or portion thereof which are found to be necessary for critical warheads, mangroves, wildlife, sanctuaries, wilderness, protected areas, forest cover or the forestation determined by the appropriate agencies with the full participation of the ICC in IPS. Concern shall be maintained, managed, and development for such purposes. The IPS concern shall be given responsibility to maintain, develop, protect, and conserve such areas with the full and effective assistance of government agencies.
Section 59. Certification Precondition. All the department and other governmental agencies shall henceforth be strictly enjoined from issuing, renewing, or gathering any consumption, license, or lease, or entering into the product sharing agreement without prior certification from the NCIP that the area affected does not overlap with any ancestral domain.
Section 60. Exemption from taxes. All terms affirmed to be genealogical space will be absolutely from genuinely local charge and common duties and different types of exemption with the exception of such of space of the tribal areas as are really utilized for hog scope, horticulture business, backwoods estate, and private purposes or after meaning by private people provided that all exception will be utilized your work with the term of even and improvement of the hereditary areas. Section 61. Temporary requisition powers. The new foundation of an institutional studying limits whereby it can successfully satisfy its command. Yet for no situation past 3, a long time after its creation, the NCIP thus approved to demand the Department of the Environment and Natural Resources, the DNR Review Group, just as other similarly profession private study group, through a memorandum of agreement of MOA to portray genealogical space border, the DENR secretary will oblige any such solicitation inside one month of its issuance, provided the memorandum of agreement will, among others, an agreement for innovation move to the NCIP. Section 62. Resolution of conflicts. In instance of clashing interests where there are unfriendly cases inside the tribal areas, as portrayed in the study plan and which cannot be settled, the NCIP will hear and choose after the notice to the legitimate gathering the debates emerging from the depiction of such familiar space, provided that if the question is between as well as long ICC's IPS disregard to the conventional limits of their separate genealogical space, standard cycle would be agreed to the NCIP will proclaim the fundamental standard and guidelines to completely its adjudicatory capacity, provided further that any choice, request, grant, or administering of the NCIP or any familial areas question are on any matter relating to the application, execution, requirement, and understanding of this act might be brought for review to the Court of Appeal inside 15 days from receipt of a duplicate thereof. Section 63. Applicable laws. Customary laws. Custom and practice of the ICCs or its of the land where the contention emerge will be applied first. As for property privilege, case and possession, genetic progression, and settlement of the land question, any uncertainty or vagueness in the application and understanding of the laws will be settled for the ICCs or its. Section 64. Remedial measures. The deprivation might be dependent on in the goal of a reconcilable circumstance following the guidelines of the benefits of everyone. The NCIP will make a tweetable legitimate move for the ongoing of corporately recorded title which are the obtained unlawfully. That such methodology will guarantee the freedom holder of society will be regarded, provided further that the activity for drafting will be started inside to a long time from the effectively of this act, provided at the last the activity for reventions will be inside in a time of 10 a long time in.
The next is the jurisdictions and procedures for enforcement of rights. This includes Section 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and Section 70. Section 65. Primacy of customary laws and practices. When disputes involve ICCs or IPs, indigenous peoples, customary laws and practices shall be used to resolve the dispute. Section 66. Jurisdictions of the NCIP. Through its regional offices, it shall have jurisdictions over all claims and disputes involving rights of ICCs or IPs, provided, however, that no such dispute shall be brought to the NCIP unless the parties have exhausted all remedies provided under their customary laws. For this purpose, certification shall be issued by the Council of Elders who participated in the attempt to settle the dispute. The same has not been resolved. The certification shall be a condition precedent to the filing of a petition with the NCIP. Section 67. Appeals to the Court of Appeals. Decision of the NCIP shall be appealable to the Court of Appeals by way of a petition for review. Is the appeals to the court. Section 68. Execution of decisions, awards, and orders. Upon expiration, the period herein provided and no appeal is perfected by any of the contending parties, the hearing officer of the NCIP, on its own initiative or upon motion by the prevailing party, shall issue a writ of execution requiring the sheriff or the court officer to execute final decisions, orders, or awards of the regional hearing officer of the NCIP. Next one is the Section 69. Judicial powers of the NCIP. The NCIP shall have the power and authority. Power and authority have four components: to promulgate rules, regulations governing the hearing and disposition of cases filed before it, as well as those pertaining to its internal function, and such rules and regulations as may be necessary to carry out the purposes of this Act. B. The administrator oaths summons the parties to a controversy issued subpoenas requiring the attendance and testimony of witnesses or the production of such books, papers, contracts, records, agreements, and other documents of similar nature as may be material to a just determination of the matter under investigation or hearing conducted in pursuance of this act. C. To hold any person in contempt directly or indirectly and impose inappropriate penalties therefore, and D. To enjoin any or all acts involving or arising from any case pending before it, which, if not restrained forthwith, may cause grave and irreparable damage to any of the parties to the case or seriously affect social or economic activity. And the last one is the Section 70, Restraining Order or Preliminary Injunction. No inferior court of the Philippines shall have jurisdiction to issue any restraining order or writ of preliminary injunction against the NCIP of any, and of its duly authorized or designated offices in any case, dispute, or controversy arising from, necessary to, or interpretation of this act and other pertinent laws relating to ICCs, IPs, and ancestral domains. This is overall our report about the sections, and that's all. Thank you.